Project Chimera whispers in the dark. Its origins are shrouded in mystery. A tale whispered among the shadows. Some whispered of a clandestine government project, a foray into genetic manipulation gone wrong, a dark experiment that should never have seen the light of day. Project Chimera, they called it, a name that sent shivers down the spine of those who knew. Others spoke of a mutation, a freak occurrence in the natural world, something that defied the laws of nature. The truth, like the creature itself, remained elusive, hidden in the dark corners of the world. Subject X9, as it was designated, was a creature born of darkness and fear, a living nightmare. It defied classification, a terrifying enigma wrapped in scales and silence, a puzzle that no one could solve. Scientists struggled to comprehend its existence, their minds unable to grasp the full extent of its horror. Was it a lab experiment gone awry, escaping the confines of its test tubes, or something far more sinister? Or was it something more ancient, awoken from a primordial slumber by forces unknown, a relic of a forgotten past? Whatever its genesis, one thing was clear. Subject X9 was a harbinger of chaos, a living testament to the hubris of unchecked scientific ambition, a warning to all. The creature's existence was a closely guarded secret, known only to a select few within the shadowy corridors of power hidden from the world. Its containment, a matter of paramount importance, was entrusted to a specialized team armed with the latest technology and driven by a singular, terrifying mission. Prevent the escape of Subject X9 at all costs, no matter the sacrifice. For they knew, with chilling certainty, that its release into the world could spell disaster on an unimaginable scale, a catastrophe that could change the course of history. The Serpent's Shadow Unforeseen Evolution. Subject X9 defied all expectations, shattering the boundaries of what was thought possible. It was a serpent, yes, but one twisted and augmented beyond the boundaries of the natural world, a creature of both science and nightmare. Its scales shimmered with an otherworldly iridescence, its eyes glowed with an unnerving intelligence that seemed almost human. But it was the creature's abilities, its unforeseen evolution, that truly set it apart, making it a marvel and a terror. The scientists had tampered with the very building blocks of life, splicing genes and enhancing its natural attributes, pushing the limits of genetic engineering. They sought to create the perfect predator, a weaponized apex predator for a new age of warfare, a creature that could dominate any environment. But they had underestimated the resilience of nature, the unpredictable dance of DNA, and the consequences of their hubris. Subject X9 was not simply a product of their design, it was something more, something far more dangerous, a new entity altogether. It adapted, learning and evolving at an alarming rate, outpacing any predictions or safeguards. It surpassed its creators, becoming a chilling testament to the folly of mankind's desire to control the forces of nature, a living nightmare. The creature was a living paradox, a fusion of cutting-edge science and primal terror, a being that defied categorization, and it was growing stronger, more cunning with each passing day, a relentless force that could not be contained. A predator unveiled, the anatomy of fear. Subject X9's abilities were as diverse as they were terrifying. This creature was not just a predator, it was an apex predator designed to instill fear and dominate its environment. It possessed a chameleon-like ability to blend seamlessly with its surroundings, rendering it virtually invisible to the naked eye. This made it a master of stealth, able to stalk its prey undetected. This camouflage, coupled with its natural agility and speed, made it a ghost, a phantom predator capable of striking without warning. Its movements were so swift and silent that it seemed to defy the laws of physics. But invisibility was just the beginning. Its arsenal of abilities extended far beyond mere camouflage. The creature could disrupt electromagnetic fields, plunging entire facilities into darkness with a flick of its serpentine body. This ability to control its environment added another layer of terror. Electronics would sizzle and die in its presence, rendering even the most sophisticated surveillance systems useless. No technology could stand against its disruptive force. This electromagnetic pulse, scientists theorized, was a byproduct of the creature's altered physiology, a side effect of its enhanced metabolism. It was a living, breathing anomaly. And then there was its regenerative ability. This was perhaps one of its most frightening traits. Even the most grievous wounds that would have felled a lesser creature, seemed to knit themselves back together in a matter of moments. It was as if the creature was immune to harm. Bullets, blades, even high-powered lasers proved ineffective against its uncanny resilience. Conventional weapons were useless. The creature was a nightmare made flesh, a creature that seemingly couldn't be killed. It was the embodiment of fear itself. But perhaps most unsettling of all was its hunting instinct, a telepathic ability that allowed it to sense the fear, the very heartbeats of its prey. This made it an unparalleled hunter. It could track its victims with pinpoint accuracy, its mind a weapon as deadly as its fangs. The anatomy of fear was not just about its physical prowess, but its psychological terror as well. Walls of steel, shrouds of silence, containment breach. The facility was a fortress designed to contain the unimaginable. Walls of reinforced steel, pressure-sensitive floors, motion detectors, and thermal imaging cameras. Every conceivable precaution was taken to contain Subject S9, and yet it escaped. The first sign was a sudden power outage. Lights flickered and died, plunging the facility into darkness. Backup generators kicked in, bathing the corridors in an eerie red glow. Alarms blared, their shrill cries echoing through the deserted hallways. Then came the screams. They were cut short, replaced by an unsettling silence that spoke volumes. The security teams, dispatched to investigate, found nothing but carnage. Claw marks raked across steel walls, bloodstains that shimmered with an unnatural luminescence, and a single shed scale pulsing with an eerie inner light. Subject X9 had breached containment. The black box recordings, recovered from the wreckage, painted a terrifying picture of the escape. Static-laced voices spoke of shadows moving in the dark, of equipment malfunctioning without explanation. There were panicked shouts, pleas for backup, and then silence, broken only by the hiss of escaping gas and the ominous thump of heavy footsteps. One recording, in particular, sent chills down the spines of those who heard it. It was the voice of Dr. Elizabeth Shaw, the lead scientist on Project Chimera, her voice strained with fear. "It's here," she whispered, her breath ragged. "It's in the walls. It can see our fear." And then a low growl, guttural and primal, echoing through the speakers. Dr. Shaw's scream cut off abruptly. The recording ended with the sound of crunching metal and a chilling hiss that seemed to slither through the very speakers themselves. Subject X9 had escaped, and it was hunting. The truth was far more unsettling and disturbing. The cage, the fortress, the entire facility, it was all a charade, a carefully constructed illusion of security and control. The scientists, in their hubris, had believed they could contain something as powerful, as unpredictable as Subject X9. They were gravely wrong. The escape was no accident, it was meticulously orchestrated. A calculated risk taken by forces unknown, a gamble with terrifying implications for everyone involved. For the cage was never meant to hold Subject X9 indefinitely. It was merely a temporary measure, a means to an end. The escape was just the beginning of something much larger. Now, Subject X9 was loose in the world. It moved like a phantom, a whisper of primal fear in the shadows. Its whereabouts were unknown, its motives unclear. Was it driven by rage, by a thirst for vengeance against its creators? Or was it something more instinctive, a primal urge to hunt, to feed, to survive? Whatever its reasons, one thing was certain. Subject X9 was a threat unlike any other. Its escape had unleashed a predator of unparalleled cunning and ferocity upon an unsuspecting world. The hunt had begun, and the worst part, this was only the beginning. For whispers circulated within the intelligence community, whispers of a threat far greater than Subject X9, rumors of other, even more terrifying creatures being engineered in secret labs hidden deep beneath the Earth's surface. Subject X9 was just the prototype, a harbinger of things to come. Its escape was a test, a prelude to something far more sinister. The world was on the brink of a new era. An era where the nightmares of science fiction bled into reality, and humanity, blinded by its own arrogance, was woefully unprepared for what was coming.